Yo, YouTube, what's going on, guys? Welcome to a Facebook, man. Welcome to a YouTube live video. Reason why I said Facebook there was a split second is because I normally do Facebook live videos instead of a private Facebook community group. And I figured, hey, let's expand the knowledge. Let's help out everybody, and start doing some of these lives on YouTube. And also, I just like the platform a lot. I'm always on YouTube. I'm always learning new stuff. So I figured, hey, open this up as a public live video on YouTube. And who knows, for those guys that happen to join in, hopefully I can provide some value and help you guys out. Anyways, I want to just give a brief rundown in terms of why I got started in the fitness industry. And then most importantly, going into my goals for the future. And my goals for the future have a lot to do with you and your goals probably as well. So before we talk about all that, let me first give a little context, right? Background, right? And I think this has a lot to do with also why I got started in the health and fitness industry. And if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Coach Joe. I'm a certified personal trainer, certified nutritionist, certified in strength and conditioning, and I'm a business owner. I own, Heartletics. I'm a CEO, owner. And since 2017, we've been fortunate to help thousands of guys lose fat, build muscle by teaching them sustainable habits that work best for their lifestyle, but also their body type. So that way they can learn how to get in the best shape of their lives physically and mentally, but most importantly, be able to have that success long term. So, um, how did I get there first? Well, way back in the day when I was just a little kid, right? I grew up in an Italian household. And with most Italians out there, you guys know we love to eat, right? We love to have our pastas on Sundays. We love to have our Italian cookies. We love to have our sweets, the whole 9 yards, right? And anytime a whole bunch of Italians are getting together for like a family dinner party, it's wild, right? It's loud also. But nonetheless, I just remember at a very early age, right, being told two specific things from my parents. The first thing was the good foods versus bad foods talk. Like, hey, Joey, if you're going to have the donuts, not good for you. Hey, Joey, if you're going to have the cookies, not good for you. Hey, don't overindulge in this, right? So I was always being taught at a very early age, good foods versus bad foods. And the second thing that I was taught that I think a lot of parents unfortunately teach their kids, which it's not like it's a problem unless it does become a problem, right? But that's throwing away food. That, hey, people are in third world countries starving for food. We can't be throwing this away. And so, what does that mean essentially? Hey, don't listen to your body. We care more about not wasting away the food. So, if you put it on your plate, you got to finish it all. And yeah, that's pretty much how I was raised and grew up, right? Which led to me having I like to say a minor, right? It was probably major though, binge eating disorder. And I remember just, it really kind of hit me hard one day in middle school at the lunchroom. I don't know if you guys remember, but there's like a Nestle's, it's called a chunky bar. It's like chocolate, peanuts, caramel inside, raisins. I remember one of the girls, she whipped it at me in the lunchroom and she's like, here you go, fatty. It has your name on it. And I remember just like hearing that and being like, oh man, they're talking about me. Everybody's laughing and it's because of me. So since that day, I really want to make a change, right? Just because like I'll never forget, going home crying on my mom's shoulder that day. I'll never forget all the kids making fun of me, right? Even my friends laughing at me. And you're in middle school, right? So you're trying to laugh it off at the same time, right? But let's be honest, right? Words have an effect on people, right? They do hurt from time to time. So, anyways, I made it my mission to get in better shape. I just didn't know how, like I did not know how at all. I remember there was like men's health magazines, bodybuilding magazines. And I always go into like GNC and like, try to just absorb some information, absorb some knowledge, right? And go on bodybuilding.com and all these different Reddit sites just to figure out what I was doing, right? So the early age of, now I'm a freshman in high school, I'm trying to lose some weight, right? Afterwards, just getting made fun of being, middle school. It's like, I want to make a difference, right? I just didn't know how. So I literally tried everything under the sun. I did keto before it was cool. I did carnivore, paleo, the whole 9 yards, right? Fasting, every single diet you hear about, I have dabbled in and I've tried plenty of them, right? Plain and simple. And I'll have more videos and more content talking about those specific videos, or excuse me, talking about those specific diets that I've tried and why they just don't work. They're not sustainable, at least personally for myself. Now, it wasn't until my junior and senior year of high school, or yeah, my junior, no, I would say my sophomore year actually is when I started doing like mixed martial arts. So I started doing like boxing, Muay Thai, wrestling, and just dabbling into that. And I enjoyed that because I was able to get in good shape and I wasn't like, banging the weights around or doing anything crazy. And I wasn't a big fan of cardio, still not. But like MMA was like an aspect of cardio for me where I'm hitting the heavy bag or I'm wrestling or doing jujitsu and I'm getting my cardio rate up. So MMA was the breadwinner that has helped me on my health and fitness journey, but I want to learn more. And so right afterwards, when I got finished up, with high school, I got certified in personal training. I got certified in nutrition. And then probably a few years later, I got certified in strength and conditioning. And this is where it's like, okay, hey, I want to be able to get in shape, but also maintain that results, maintain that success. So back when I would fight, I would do like weight cuts, all this stuff to, get low body fat percentage, get a low weight, step on the scale. And then, you fight, boom, 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 right? The next day, you pig out, right? In fact, that night you pig out, right? And I just did not like how it felt nor how it looked, where I just felt like a greasy slob, honestly. Like the week after, just got done competing, right? Shredded six pack abs, and the next week you don't have any of that, right? Because you just pigged out and everything in sight. So I didn't like the way that I felt. I just felt lazy, and also I just didn't like the way that I looked. Like I hate to say this, I'm not trying to be vain or anything, but I like having abs. It makes me feel good, right? Having six pack abs, like chiseled chest, makes me feel confident, right? Like it's like, hey, most people out there don't look like this. The fact that we have the discipline and the willpower to persevere and continue to show up even when times get hard. Yeah, I like to, show those, right? I like to have that be my reward factor because of the discipline, because of those character traits that I adapted. So, anyways, it wasn't until I got certified in nutrition when it finally clicked for me. And I hope that it clicks for you as well. Because, like I said, I've tried several different diets. I'm out of focus real quick. There we go. I've tried several different diets. None of them seem to stick with me long term. But it wasn't until I got certified in nutrition when somebody actually explained to me how it actually worked, which means like it does not matter about the diet that you choose to do. All that matters is numbers, right? Specific numbers are your calories for fat loss. If you want to choose to lose body fat, you want to be in deficit, and your macronutrients. And now, even with the macronutrients, right, I was told when I got certified, is like, hey, here's how carbs are beneficial, right? They're a fuel source. They're fast digesting energy sources for the body. Okay. You have your complex carbs, you have your simple carbs. It is what it is. And then you have your fats. Fats are essential for the body. You need them, but you don't need an abundance of them. So, how we were kind of taught was just like, hey, out of all the macronutrients, your proteins, your carbs, and your fats, your protein is most beneficial, right? That is going to help you boost your metabolism. It's going to help you lose more body fat, right? It's going to make you feel fuller longer, right? Being higher up on the thermic effect of food. Eating more protein is going to help you when it comes to reaching your health and fitness goals faster if you want to lose fat and build muscle. Second, carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are just, they're filling for most people, and for a lot of people like myself, I like to utilize them for energy sources, meaning like, hey, when I can tell them I'm low on energy, simply because I'm not eating enough carbs. And I get it, right? We have these perceptions that carbs are just donuts and pastas and cookies and cheesecake and bad, unhealthy carbs, right? Sure, carbohydrates are in them, but there's also a lot of fats in them as well. And like, that's the problem that I want people to really understand is that when you have a high carb and a high fat diet and a low protein diet, and you're way over on your calories, you're never going to lose the body fat. You're never going to get the results that you want. So most people around like the New Year's and the holidays, when they just don't like looking at themselves anymore because they realize they got to make a change, they'll typically cut out the carbohydrates. So they'll still have like low protein, a whole bunch of fats, and now like less calories, obviously, because they're cutting out all the carbohydrates, the bad food and the good carbohydrates. So they're cutting them out, and that puts them in a deficit. But what typically happens is like they're losing a whole bunch of weight, and it's not necessarily a whole bunch of body fat that they're losing because now they're not getting enough protein. They still never were. But also, like, what happens when, let's just say you take your phone, okay, and you happen to drop it into a pool? Well, you're supposed to take your phone and put it into a bowl of rice. That rice is going to extract the water out of it so it can start working properly again. Well, that's kind of what happens, honestly. Like when you stop eating carbohydrates, you are going to lose what's called the glycogen, right? That's stored within the muscles. So a lot of that weight loss isn't actually loss of body fat. And that's why, like, knowing that there's a big difference between losing weight, which is just a number on the scale. You could be losing water weight, you could be losing muscle, you could be losing body fat, and losing body fat, there's a big difference, right? Because losing body fat is primarily just losing body fat. And that's ideally what you should focus on, is not just the weight loss, but it's the fat loss in itself. So this brings me to like kind of like the near the end to this, YouTube live video, which is, what are my goals for the future? Okay. And it's very simple. And that is to continue to preach, right? I like to say this: you can't just talk the talk, you got to learn how to walk the walk. And so my goals for the future are very probably on the same page as you if you're tuning in and you're watching this, which is like, I want to continue to provide and pour out into you. I want to help you. My goals is to help as many people as possible. Just learn how to create sustainable fat loss habits. Learn how to do this in a way where, working out isn't a chore. They don't have to wake up and say, oh, I have to do this. It's like, no, they say, I get to do this. It's a privilege, Like, so working out is not a chore at all. I like to preach that, right? I like to showcase that, hey, my discipline with going to the gym or, doing some stuff at home or even just hitting the heavy bag, it's fun. It's because, hey, I get to do this, and it's like the chances of me moving my body is going to help me with longevity. And then from a nutritional standpoint, it's really to just continue to help with you guys understanding that it doesn't have to be hard. It really doesn't. Like, once again, I grew up in this Italian household, the binge eating disorder, the good foods versus bad foods, the whole 9 yards. I've tried all these different diets. It's really not that hard. I recommend, hey, downloading an app that's on your phone and just track what you eat. Because if you're not tracking, you're really just throwing spaghetti up on the wall and hoping and praying something sticks. And I'm pretty sure that doesn't work out for anybody out there. So when you're tracking your calories, you can actually make sure that you're in a calorie deficit. When you're tracking your macronutrients, you can also make sure to see that, hey, I'm getting enough protein in. And in case you're wondering what that means, like, take your body weight, multiply it by 0.8. That's going to give you the bare minimum protein that you should be eating every single day. Now, I recommend if you want to see better results, take your body weight, multiply it by 1. So if you weigh 195 pounds, have at least 195 grams of protein per day. As long as you're sticking within the calorie deficit, you're going to be in a good sweet spot. As far as the carbs and fats go, don't even worry about them. This is what we kind of coach and teach our members about applying the 80-20 rule, which is, really it's just followed by KISS, right? KISS means keep it simple, stupid, okay? Well, the 80-20 rule is 80% of the time we're having our wholesome, healthy foods. We're easily hitting our macronutrient numbers. And 20% of the time, we're having what I like to say are sanity foods. And when you're not focused on the carbs, you're not focused on the fats, it's very easy to learn how to have a beer or have some donuts and have some cookies and have some pizza. And you're tracking it still, and you're making sure that, okay, hey, I already hit my protein goal. I already, I'm staying in my calorie deficit. I'm allowed to have this. And it's even better when guys are having those foods and drinking those alcoholic beverages. And at the end of the week, they're continuing to lose weight. And it breaks the self-limiting belief inside their own heads. So my goal, right, bigger picture, is to change as many lives as possible, helping them and inspiring them on their own health and fitness journey. And just, once again, not talking the talk, but walking the walk. And if in case you guys, right, watching this on YouTube, you guys can see my content. I'm constantly posting daily live workouts. I'm constantly posting different stuff in terms of my macros, my nutrition protocol, mindset, the whole 9 yards, because I want to help you become the best version of yourself. And that's the path that I'm on, is just to fill up my cup a little bit each and every day, helping myself, nurturing myself to become better physically, mentally, emotionally stronger, so I can be more of an asset and I can pour more on the others. Because my long-term bigger picture goal is, I have a 5-year-old son that's going to be turning 6 here at the end of the month, 6 years old. Well, guess what? He jumps on my back all the time and I start banging out push-ups. I want that to be the goal, right? Not when he's 6, but also when he's 16 and when he's 26 and when he's 36. I want realistically one day to be this fit, in shape grandpa where I have my son on my back and he's holding his kids, right? Like, that's the goal for me. And that's why I always make sure that, hey, what I choose to do, it's a small little investment into my future self, my future goals. Drinking plenty of water, getting plenty of sleeps, tracking my macros, doing my workouts, getting plenty of steps in. These aren't things that are hard, guys. The problem is just that we live in this Amazon Prime day and age where guys want results yesterday, So it's like, hey, they don't realize nobody got fat in a week, and they get so upset when they don't lose all their body fat in a week either. It's not how it is. You can't cheat or shortcut your fat loss journey. You just can't. But I tell you what, one way to be successful on your fat loss journey is consistency, is showing up each and every day and focusing on being 1% better. That's it. Small little deposit, right? Small little investment into your future self, your future goals. You're going to reach your goals, and you're going to have a lot of fun enjoying the process and enjoying the journey. And you're going to learn a lot about yourself during the course of all that. So I hope that you guys got some value from today's YouTube live video, kind of just spontaneous. And I'm probably going to do some of these going forward in the future. So if you guys have not yet already subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would greatly, greatly appreciate that if you did. And give this video a thumbs up. And as always, guys, this has been Coach Joe with Heartletics.com. And I'll talk to you in the next episode. Peace out, Girl Scout. Oh, FYI, if you guys do want any help on your own fitness journey, or at least you want to learn a little bit more about like how our coaching program works, there's a completely free training guide by clicking on the link down below. Go ahead and check it out. If it's been able to help out thousands of other guys, I'm pretty confident it can help you guys out as well. All right. Peace out, Girl Scouts.